Welcome to UC Today. My name is David Dungay. I'm here today with Gidi Aldersberg from AudioCodes. Welcome to the show, Gidi. How are you?
Thank you, David. Good morning. I'm great.
Excellent, excellent. Right, today we're going to be talking about conversational AI, chatbots, and everything to do with voice IVR. So, Gidi, before we get started, do you want to give us a little bit of an introduction to yourself and AudioCodes?
Sure, of course. So, I'm Gidi Aldersberg, and I manage business development for the Voice AI business unit at the AudioCodes headquarters. And for those of you who are not familiar with AudioCodes, for almost 30 years now, all we've been doing is mastering voice technology, and we have multiple areas of focus. So everything from the telecom industry through voice networking for enterprises, all the way up to these days the very fast emerging UC and UC as a service markets, as well as the contact center space, which is especially relevant for voice AI technologies.
Okay, so you've got a bit of a journey in this space, which is great. Can you tell us a little bit about that? How did you get into the voice AI space, and what does that look like from AudioCodes' perspective?
Yeah, so what we always like to say is that for the past, as I said, for almost 30 years now, all we've been doing is working on technologies and products and solutions that essentially carry voice traffic in the best way possible from within enterprises, between enterprises, service providers, and all that. And with voice AI, what we're trying to do is to just extract value from that voice traffic that we carry, just bring more innovation and more value from that voice traffic to our end users out there.
Okay, so when people think about AI in the contact center, typically the word chatbots gets thrown around. There's quite a lot of misconceptions around AI and chatbots. How are you addressing these misconceptions? I guess first of all, what are those misconceptions, and how are you addressing them with voice.ai?
So we always like to say that one of the best things. So conversational AI technologies really grew and became really very mature in the past. From 3 or 4 years ago, they've actually reached to a level where they are almost are capable of handling open conversations. But we always say that the Siris and Alexas that are out there, they're the blessing and the curse of the industry, because on the one hand side, it really shows people what the power of this technology and what it can do for the everyday user. But on the other hand, they cannot do anything, and that's where you need experienced companies in this field that can find the best fit between the technology and the use cases that you work on. And with chatbots, the thing is that chatbots have been around for a good few years now, and they do a great job. If you're on a website or on a mobile app or anything with a screen, chatbots are great at just providing you that quick service that you're after. But we, being a voice company, we always say, that voice is the most fundamental form of human communication. And the more we allow people to engage with those bots through voice, through that very intuitive method of communication, the easier we make lives for users out there. So our idea is to focus on the voice aspect of conversational AI and really get it to up to a point where it's just as intuitive as talking with a human being.
So, voice, clearly a more of a traditional method, but still a very, very pertinent, I guess, channel, if you like, into the contact center. I mean, why is it so crucial for interactions with customers?
Well, again, we look at different statistics and data out there, and every customer service survey that you look at, from, I'm talking about 10 years back until today, what you're gonna find is that people prefer to get their customer service over a phone call. So even though they have all these, different engagement channels, again, chatbots, emails, and all of that, we consistently see that people just want to, get customer service over a phone line. And by the way, talking about, the new reality and the pandemic, we have numbers that show that that during the pandemic, this has become even more significant. People have less time to spend on, waiting for service, and they just want to pick up the phone. If you want to get your COVID-19 vaccine, you probably want to do it over a phone call, at least for the average person that is out there.
So, Gidi, tell me, what are AudioCodes, offering, for the real world, so for companies to actually practically implement this today?
So in Voice AI, we have a very rich set of we have a technology platform as well as applications that are based on Voice AI technology. So the first thing, just because we just talked about chatbots, one of our strongest offerings in the Voice AI portfolio is what we call Voice AI Connect. This is actually a new name for a solution that we formerly called Voice AI Gateway. And our idea there is, so again, chatbots have been around and there's plenty of them, but how do you make these chatbots available over voice? We have 6 billion people connected to the public telephone network. How do we bring those great chatbots that people, that bot developers worked so hard to build, and bring them all the way to the telephone? So what we do with Voice AI Connect is to just take that textual chatbot experience and connect it to the different speech cognitive services that are out there, to provide the same experience over voice and over a phone line. And the idea is, if you're a bot developer and you want to take your chatbot and make it voice driven, you would have to deal with a whole set of APIs. Today you want to connect with Microsoft Azure speech services. Tomorrow you want to connect to Amazon speech to text, maybe because they have a better language support for a specific language that you're after. And for a bot developer to deal with each and every one of those proprietary APIs is quite a tedious task. And once you've done that's only half the job, because then you would need to connect it somehow to the telephony network. So what we do in Voice AI Connect is to just pre-mitigate between all those different cognitive services that are out there, and we really made sure that we have a very rich collection of various speech cognitive services from various vendors that are just built into the platform. And with Voice AI Connect, it's as easy as, if you have a chatbot, it will take you literally, maybe 30 seconds to connect it to those speech cognitive services out there, and get all the way up to the level of getting an actual phone number that you just dial into and talk with your bot. That's the idea behind that technology platform, Voice AI Connect.
Wow. So, I mean, in 30 seconds to deploy a chatbot, I mean, that's super quick. I mean, so in terms of skill sets, we'll get a lot of different people, watching this video, Gidi, from end user customers, right the way through to partners and obviously the whole vendor community as well.
Mhm.
To those business users and those partners who might be watching this going, wow, conversational AI, IVRs or whatever it is, they don't quite understand how this cognitive voice fits into their portfolio. Where do they start? What skill sets do they need, and where do they start?
So as you pointed out very well, it really depends on who you are. If you're a technology partner and you're already developing bots, then all you need is just a great technology platform to voice enable all those bots that you do, and that's what we have Voice AI Connect for, that I just covered. But if you're an end customer, and yeah, if you're just a company, and you're not a huge one, so you probably do not build any bots yourself, you're just looking to get them somehow. We also have dedicated applications, closed applications, that focus on a specific use case. And as an example, this is exactly where Voca, our agile conversational IVR, comes into play. Again, focusing on that very specific use case of just steering calls on a company's main line for customers. We all know that in many times we call up a company and we still get that touch tone IVR. The good old press 1 for that, press 2 for that, press 3 for that. And yeah, people don't really like that. And what we're doing with Voca is we just created, again, not a technology platform, but a closed, dedicated application that just handles really well that very specific use case of, getting the call on the main line, figuring out what it is that the caller needs, and getting the call to the right place. And when I talk about an application approach, I mean that with Voca, it's a matter of a day or two to get that conversational IVR up and running on your main line. So we really made sure, with those applications, we're really making sure that they're just very easy to deploy and do their job, completely out of the box.
Okay, so AudioCodes. Clearly, we know that you're very deep into the Microsoft Teams ecosystem.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to find out what you're doing around the Teams space. We know Microsoft Teams is a huge growth product. Lots of businesses around the world, using that product, and now sitting here today wondering, how do I get more out of that? What peripheral services can I add to my Teams setup? So what are AudioCodes doing around that?
Yeah, so typically when you talk about voice AI and voice recognition and bots and all that, people immediately and rightfully think of the contact center space and customers. But actually, there's quite a lot to do with voice AI for the UC environment and namely for Teams. And again, talking about an application approach, one of actually the newest application in our voice AI portfolio is a solution that we call Meeting Insights. The idea with Meeting Insights is, again, we combine different voice AI technologies that we typically put together for voice bots and so on, but this time we're putting them together to solve a very classic challenge with unified communications, and that is to make meetings more actionable and more productive. And the idea is that we always say, if me and you, David, have a Teams meeting and let's say it's lasting for even for 30 minutes, we're probably spending in these 30 minutes, we're probably spending at least a few hundreds of dollars, in salary terms, and investing all of our time. And in most cases, after once the meeting is ended, nothing's left. In the best case scenario, people might take a few bullet points or even record the meeting on Microsoft Teams, which is nice. But we know that everybody knows that people don't usually go and want to listen back to a full meeting. That's not very productive. So what we're doing with Meeting Insights is just combining different voice AI technologies like speech to text, speaker identification, key phrase, hot word activation, and so on, to just make those meetings much more actionable. So that means during a Teams meeting, you have a built-in, with Meeting Insights, you have a built-in voice assistant that sits in this meeting with you. We call it Mia, and Mia will just sit there on that meeting, and will be ready to take your action items, decisions, meeting summary, all of that just through natural language seamlessly throughout the meeting. And that's only half the story. Once the meeting is ended, it would be really easy for you to go back to that meeting and just so the idea is that we make all these spoken content very easily searchable. So let's say it was you had a meeting with many users, with a lot of participants, and you just want to go back to a specific thing that a specific participant said. With Meeting Insights, it would be as easy as choosing the speaker, typing in a keyword, and you're there. So the idea is one to help you be more productive within the meeting and to make that meeting more actionable, but also to provide you with a very easy way to review review that content post meeting. Again, that's all of that is done with Meeting Insights, and indeed we're focusing on Microsoft Teams and integrated it onto Teams very, very well.
I think, I think we can all relate. Anyone that uses Microsoft Teams, anything to make those meetings more productive is, absolutely great.
Yeah.
So look, Gidi, before I leave you today, 2021 is before us. It's to come. How are you feeling about 2021? What are you excited about for the coming year?
Yeah. So what we're seeing in the past 2 years or so, ever since we've been working and developing new products and solutions in voice AI, and especially since the pandemic, we're seeing more and more and more demand for those kind of solutions that just help people streamline their activity, whether they are customers or internal users in companies. So yeah, in 2021, we definitely expect this trend to continue and to even become stronger as people have just less and less time to find their way through complex interfaces, or people are tired of typing the more time goes by. And we always say, as long as people prefer to talk, we are here to continue innovating and bring more and more value from voice. So yeah, definitely looking for a very strong 2021 in the voice AI space. Lots of very exciting developments to come from us in 2021.
Excellent. Okay, well, look, Gidi, I think that's a great place to end today's conversation. Thank you so much for joining me.
My pleasure, David. Thank you.
And thank you for watching. You've been watching me, David Dungay, on UC Today. If you like today's conversation, please give us a share or a like on social media. And don't forget, you can follow all of the news by using the UC News hashtag. I've been David Dungay. Thanks for watching.